Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Araceli. This is Style by Ara. And I post every week all about my life as an engineer in Silicon Valley with videos such as fashion, vlogs, beauty, career advice, college advice, adulting, literally anything you can think of, I'm on it. And today's video is all about setting your goals for 2021, making a vision board. This is my first time making one ever, and I'm really excited to show you guys the end result. So with that being said, let's get started. To kick off this video, I actually want to talk about how to set goals for 2021 and set realistic goals that you can actually achieve by the end of the year, and how I did it for myself. And I also want to mention how to build these goals when everything is so uncertain and it's really hard to plan for the future with the pandemic, and just making realistic goals. First thing you should do is really just set aside time for yourself to be alone and just think about the big picture and think about what kind of life you want to build, think about what kind of life you want to have in this year, but also like down the road, and how this year will get you one step closer to like your 5-year plan or your 10-year plan. And I know a lot of people don't like to do that because it's unrealistic for them to look far down the road, but that's how my brain works. I am definitely a dreamer, and I definitely like to think about just big things that may seem way out of scope, but that I really want to achieve. So I'm actually going to mention one that I myself really envisioned myself achieving, and it's kind of a reach goal, but also something that I can achieve and get to at some point in my life, and that is actually moving to Europe. I am already starting to think about that, and I set some goals that would help me achieve that. So that's one thing that I mean by look at the big picture, look at the life that you want to have, and maybe it's not next month, maybe it's not even like later this year, but if you can build some goals that will help you get to that end result and that big picture vision that you have for yourself, then this is where the goals really come into play for this month or this year. And as you're doing this, really make sure that you have no limitations on yourself. Dream big, look at those big dreams that you have for yourself and that you feel kind of uncomfortable talking about with others, because this is a time for you and for you to look at who you want to be down the road. And I think when it comes to goal setting, you really should have yourself remove all those limitations and barriers that are holding you back, because then you're going to write down goals that really don't mean much to you. So think about what would be the most crazy thing that could happen to you, but that would really just inspire you and make you really happy. And that's how I came up with mine, is moving to Europe. I studied abroad, and I know that's something that I want to accomplish in my lifetime. And it might not be this year, but it's something that I have in my big picture, and I'm going to write down some goals on how I want to achieve that and reach that goal in my life. So once you have your big picture life and that big vision that you have for yourself, now's the time to break down your life into categories. Break down that big picture vision that you have into categories that seem more realistic and seem more achievable, because again, it's really daunting to look at or picture something that feels really out of reach, but it is, like it really is. So breaking down your vision into categories helps you take away that overwhelming feeling. I will list down the categories that I have as kind of recommendations if you really don't know where to begin. I have content creations, so that's like YouTube and Instagram, and goals that I want to achieve with that. I have faith and spirituality, love, health and fitness, travel, finances, apartment, home, career, small business, community, and personal development. And these can be a lot of categories for some people, so do what's best for you, but these are some recommendations that I have for you in case you don't really know where to begin, and these are ones that I used in setting up my goals for this year and for early 2022. And I've mentioned this in part 1 of this little series that I have, Refresh and Reset series. I mentioned that I am very type A. I like to be very structured and organized, and this is why I really like to dream big and have those 5-year, 10-year plans. That's just how I am, and that's what works best for me. But if that just seems really intense for you, don't feel like you have to do that. Again, just do what works best for you, and these are just my tips. Now that you have your categories, it's time to actually start writing your goals down. And when you are writing your goals, make sure that they are SMARTER goals. And if you haven't heard that acronym before, it is specific, measurable, achievable, relatable, time-bound, evaluate, and reward goals. So I know that seems intense, but it really does help you build realistic goals that make sense and that are actually achievable and that will hold you accountable at the end of the day. So that's how I wrote down my goals. One that fits in the category of health and fitness is actually to work out at least 5 times a week, and I've actually been doing this since first, and for me, I haven't really been the type to stick with a program or stick with workouts. I feel like I'm very up and down with it. I will work out 3 times and then forget about it for like a week and then go back to it. That's how I've always been, and I hate that about myself because I really want to commit to improving my health and my fitness, because you really do only get one body, and I want to make sure that I appreciate mine but also build it to the best that it can be. And I've started to take away the piece of it that's like, oh, I want to lose 20 pounds, because at the end of the day I want to be confident in myself no matter the number, and that's something that I want to work on. So working out at least 5 times a week, which I've actually worked out every single day since January 1st, and it is now January 8th, and I'm very proud of myself because, again, I've always been up and down. I've always made some sort of excuse, whether it was college or now working from home. I think I've always just made excuses for myself, but lately I'm just really pushing myself, and I don't know what really clicked, but I feel really inspired and encouraged. So that is one goal that I'm actually really sticking with, and I'm proud to share that with you. One that goes in the career category is finding a position that will allow me to move abroad with my company that I currently work for, because I do love the company I work for and I want to stick with it. It is a global company, so it really allows me to find new opportunities, and that's a big goal of mine. And I won't share all the specifics of my goals because they're personal, but these are just broad goals that I have that I'm sharing with you, and just to give you some ideas on goals for yourself. And then another one that I can share is content creations. I want to make sure that I post at least once a week on YouTube, if not twice a week. I was doing twice a week last year, and I felt like that may be a little bit unrealistic with just working full-time, a 9-to-5 job. I feel like it's a little intense right now, so we'll see how it goes, but I'm definitely committing to once a week on Sundays. You will be seeing a video every single Sunday. And I may be adding another one. I'm trying to figure it out, but that is one goal, is just to hold myself accountable to posting one video every single Sunday. Another thing I want to mention is to make sure that you have your big why. Why do you want to achieve that goal? Why do you want to have that 5-year plan? Why do you want to achieve that 5-year plan? Why do you want to get to that point? Is it going to make you happy? Really evaluating these goals as you write them down to make sure that you're not writing like fluff goals just because you think you have to. I know it's hard when you're seeing all these different influencers and people on Instagram saying like, these are my goals, and those are their goals, and you should be seeing what's best for you and not trying to compare your goals to anyone else. These should be very personal, and that's why I'm not going to share my goals exactly, because I do feel like they should be very personal when they get to the very specific steps. And I will share like broad goals with you because I do think it's important to encourage each other with them and hold each other accountable. And with that, I actually think it's very important to find someone that can hold you accountable with these goals. Maybe not sharing it on Instagram, but sharing it with one person that you know is going to be that person to hold you accountable. And for me, it's my boyfriend. I share my goals with him and I talk with him about them all the time. It's important to share them with someone that you trust because, again, they can keep you in check. I shared mine with my significant other because I want to make sure that he also knows, like, if moving to Europe is one of my big goals, I want to make sure that he's on the same page because it involves him too. So keep that in mind as you build your goals as well. So after you've started writing down your goals, make sure that you look at your goals and find rewards for some. So I know that when I hit a certain number of days working out that are consistent and not like missing a week or anything like that, I am going to buy myself a set of Lululemon activewear. That's always been something that I've wanted, but for the price, it's never been something that I actually wanted to purchase. And I think that's a really good goal to hold myself accountable, because then I know that if I reach that certain number, that's going to be really hard for me. Once I reach it and I get to have that satisfaction of not only reaching that goal, but also getting a reward out of it, I think that is going to encourage me to actually stick with it. So that's what I mean by rewards for your goals, whether it's, and it doesn't have to be buying yourself something, you know, it can really be anything. And that is one of mine. And now that you've set up your goals and have your list written down, it's important to break up those big goals into daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, yearly goals. And that just helps you not feel so overwhelmed and feel like, how am I going to reach all these goals? They're so intense. And that's where the time-bound piece really does come into play with the smarter goals, is to write down deadlines for yourself that are realistic so that you can actually reach them, but push them just a tad to challenge yourself and really motivate you to hit those deadlines. Because if you say, I want to reach all these goals by January 1st, 2022, that's just, realistically, that's probably not going to happen unless you check in with yourself monthly with them or daily, whatever works for you. But make sure you do have a time deadline on these goals. Once you complete setting up your goals, I really want you guys to have fun with this, because, and I know that may sound really cheesy, but it really is for you, and you should be doing this for yourself. And it's a form of self-care, it's a form of self-love, and it's a form of just improving yourself for yourself to be someone that you really are happy with. Because I know that when I meet a goal, I'm very proud of myself, and I learn to love myself because I know that it was a challenge to get to that point. And that's why even working out 8 days in a row with active rest days, I think that's been a big step for me, because I would always be that person that on the 4th or 5th day, I really make an excuse on, oh, I'm just gonna not do anything today, I'm gonna take a full-on rest day. But this time around, I really am sticking with it. And I know it's only 8 days, but again, that's something I'm proud of. And I think that feeling of being proud of yourself, you're gonna only go further from that. You're only going to keep going and growing with that. And I know for myself, I'm really pumped up to do day 9, and that is a really big step for me. And make sure that your goals really do push you out of your comfort zone in a healthy way. And one last thing I want to say about setting goals is mentioning a book that really helped me on building my goals and seeing that vision that I had for my life down the road. And that is Do It For Yourself. I've mentioned this on my Instagram a couple times, so if you follow me, you've probably seen me talk about it. Each page, each spread has a certain theme or topic to it. So I really, really like this journal. I think she just did a great job with making it a realistic journal that you can stick with. And I take 10 minutes to write down in it every single day. I've missed a few days, but I try to do it every single day, and it really helped me do my goals for 2021. But I really hope that this part of the video has helped you think about what goals you want to set for yourself. And no, it's not too late. You can honestly start building your goals in February or March. Again, this is for you, and you don't have to follow any timeline other than your own timelines. Now I want to move on to vision boards, what they are, how I made one, and what mine looks like and everything like that, so that you guys get some inspiration as well. If you've never built one, don't worry. I have never made one myself until this year, and it was honestly one of my favorite things I've ever done. I think it just really helped me gather my goals to be very intentional and specific, and a visual representation of what I want to accomplish this year. A vision board, first off, is a visual representation of your goals and of the life that you were thinking about when you were setting your goals up. And that is how you start building your vision board. Now, I made one with magazine cutouts. I had a few magazines laying around, and then I bought a couple at Barnes & Noble that I wanted to be a little bit more specific to what I wanted to have on my vision board. And then I just had scissors, double-sided tape, and a poster board, which I purchased from Target. And I just cut it in half, and I didn't want to make one way too big, so I'm going to use the other half for next year's vision board. So I'll show you real quick on what mine looks like. Now, I wanted mine to be physical so that I could hang it above my workspace. Because I do work from home, I would see this every single day above my desktop, and I'm really excited to finally hang it up. I have not hung it up yet because I've been waiting to film this video, and yeah, I'm really happy with how it turned out. It was a really therapeutic process. I was going to film the process of me making it, but I actually wanted to enjoy the moment and really put myself into this vision board, and I felt like having a camera there was just going to take a little bit of that away, so apologies for that. But I am going to be showing you a little tutorial on how to make a digital one if you're interested in the next clip. First thing you're going to do is open up a Google Slides or a Word doc, PowerPoint, Pages, literally anything you want to have a blank slate to start your vision board, cutting and pasting, or copying and pasting, sorry. And I'm using Google Slides because it's easiest for me and it's just clean and you can keep it forever if you want. So I'm going to start by removing these text boxes so that I do have a clean blank slate. Then I head over to Pinterest, and you can definitely just like scroll through Pinterest and try to find images that work for you, but I feel like that is really time consuming, so I'm just going to do a search on like, let's say fitness, and then I'll get a really cool picture to put on my vision board. For example, I think this one's cool. She looks badass, so I'm just going to copy the image, Command C that. I have a Mac, by the way, and then Command V. And what I like about this method is that you can go ahead and use the crop tool to maybe just take off some of that extra filler, but you don't have to do that. You can just copy and paste the images as is. And now another thing I could put on here is I want to eat healthier, so I could look up like healthy foods. And then like this looks really good, so I'm going to copy this image and paste again. So you just keep repeating this process until you have the vision board that fits your goals. Just finished creating mine. Just felt like I wanted to throw up some images regarding my goals and just kind of having them in mind. But again, this can be changed because it is a digital vision board, so I'll probably change some of these images throughout the months, throughout the weeks, as time goes by. This will change. I feel like it's not set in stone for me yet. But I have some images on food, health and fitness, a minimalist home, career, some quotes that I really like and want to envision for this year, activism, reading, and then I thought this picture was cute for moving to Europe and going back to see Rome sometime because I really loved that city. And then I liked this because her outfit was so on point, and I love that because I want to get better at like styling my outfits and making better content on Instagram. And of course, just a YouTube logo to keep me on track with posting every Sunday. But this is my initial board, and again, you can just move these images around, replace them. I used Pinterest mostly, but you can use Google Images or any other images that you find online. But yeah, that is mine, and hopefully you guys got some inspiration for yours. So that is how you make a digital vision board if you are interested, and I'm going to set that one up as my desktop background and also my phone background for a bit, just to remind myself of my goals and the vision of the life that I want to have. So with that being said, that is it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have some inspiration for the goals you want to set for yourself this year and for the life that you want to have and build for yourself. I'm really excited for you all to start this process if you haven't, and this really is something for you. So I'm really excited that I got to do this for myself this year. And this is part 2 of my refresh and reset series for 2021. That's all about just self-care for the new year and setting yourself for success for 2021. And part 3 will be coming the following Sunday, so stay tuned for that. Make sure you subscribe to my channel for more videos. I'm really excited to switch up my content a little bit this year and try some new things. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope you all stay safe and take care.
If you set yourself on fire, I never